Sally Chiwuzie here. I'm the owner and founder of the brand Unshakable. You know the motto, unshakable is a state of mind. Take your state of mind with you everywhere you go. Be unshakable, be in truth with yourself, love yourself. Welcome to another episode of Chronicles of Unshakable Truths. Today, as always, I have something really interesting for you. I've called this one the Stocktake, the anatomy of being unshakable. So, let me explain. Every year around this time, when my birthday creeps up like a soft whisper, I go inward. I pause, I take stock of where I've been, who I've become, what I've survived, and who I still hope to be. This episode is exactly that, a stock take, but not just of my life, of what it truly means to be unshakable. We throw that word around a lot, but what is the anatomy of being unshakable? Is it resilience? Is it survival, rebirth? Is it learning to rest without guilt? Is it saying, I love me, even when you've been made to feel unlovable? So today, I'm taking you on a journey, a medley of moments from some of the most honest conversations I've had on this podcast. You'll hear from friends, thinkers, survivors. You'll hear me in different stages of becoming. And after each clip, I'll share a little bit of where I am now. Because unshakable isn't a fixed state, it's a rhythm, a process, a vow we renew. So, wherever you are, whether you're soaring, stuck, or somewhere in between, this episode is a mirror, a map, and a moment of stillness. Let's begin. As with everything in life, unshakable means different things to different people.
Yeah.
Self-love will also mean different things to different people.
I can't believe we spent the whole night talking and we haven't mentioned one of the most important songs, which was when I was growing up, was one of the songs where I first understood the term about self-love.
The greatest love of all?
Yes.
Yes.
But how do you explain that to someone? You can't until they understand it
Until they
themselves.
understand it, yes. So that's why they've got to start from
that. Absolutely. Read this
Start
book
from
because the best thing about this book is these little sections that they ask questions on self-reflection, like, have I ever sacrificed too much of myself in love? How can I make space for both myself and others? I love it.
You know, when Mirella said that, I laughed at first because she was so right. We'd spent an entire episode dissecting love, healing, survival, and somehow forgot about the anthem. But the truth is, the greatest love of all has always held the blueprint. That line, learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all, isn't just a lyric, it's a declaration, a challenge, and honestly, is the heartbeat of what is meant to be unshakable. Because without self-love, all the other kinds of love crumble. Romantic love becomes dependency, friendship becomes people pleasing, motherhood becomes martyrdom. So, yes, thank you, Mirella, for reminding me that the foundation of being unshakable is learning to love yourself over and over and over again. Good afternoon, I'm Sally Chiwuzie, the owner and founder of the brand, and we've just decided to gather today and, have drinks and some food, and I've just realized everyone here, bar me, has either just turned 50 this year or is about to turn 50. So I thought we'd bring together Unshakable ladies and talk about what it feels like to be 50.
And I was really looking forward to turning 50, and I couldn't wait until I turned 50.
Really?
I think by the time I was like 48, 49.
That's really interesting because, obviously most times people are running away from aging. Mm-hmm. And Louise is here embracing. That's amazing, by the way. Can I just say? Well,
it's a very unshakable thing to do as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I agree.
So I turned 50. I was really excited, looking forward to turning 50. I roped Sally into running the London Marathon with me because I was 50. I was doing it for my 50th birthday.
She did.
And by divine providence, we both got in. This is the London Marathon.
On the
ballot.
Nobody
Notoriously difficult to get in.
You know that, right? Yeah. Nobody gets in on the ballot.
I know.
Yeah. Notoriously difficult to get in. We'd been entering year after year after year after year.
7 years.
7 years. We both had consolation
Hoodies.
hoodies every year, but we got in by divine providence. So the universe really wanted us to run the marathon, so we did it. We ran the London Marathon in my 50th year.
How did the London Marathon feel in terms of the fact that you were 50? So on the day when you're thinking about the fact that, listen, this is me at 50 doing this,
Not really.
amazing thing.
Not really. I think before I started training, that was definitely my thought. But during the training, you enter the training and you come out from the other side a completely different person. So I was a completely different person in the training. It's dedication. It's coming home, and our training was throughout winter and spring. So it was long, dark days.
It was.
Yeah, coming home, running in the rain, running in the, whatever the weather was. I'd come home from work and I'd look at my watch and I'd say, well, I know it's 8 o'clock, but I still have to put in 7 miles today.
A test of discipline.
It's a test of discipline.
Yeah.
So
Is that why you chose it for your 50th?
I had no idea that it was going to take that out of me. I just wanted to do it as a thing to do on my 50th birthday, but the discipline aspect
As
of
you
it,
do. People
you
just
do.
go clubbing, right? But
Yeah.
Louise runs a
We
marathon
run.
for her
We
birthday.
run, yeah.
Well, I do that as well, so I don't even know
We
why.
do that. As runners, we do this. We run to celebrate our birthdays. But I didn't realize the discipline and the training that was that was going to go into it. And I came out with the other side a much better person, but a fabulous 50 as well.
Fabulous at 50. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't feel 50.
Yeah.
I think really age is in the mind, and you're just as old as you feel.
Yeah.
So I just go with the flow. But I remember telling a friend that I need to do something big before I turn 50.
Yeah.
And
Before you turn 50.
before I turn 50. And that's when I opened my cafe.
Yeah.
And since then, I feel actually very good being 50 because of this achievement.
Yeah.
You feel accomplished, like
Yeah, I feel like I've accomplished something. Finally,
Yeah.
my
So you're like, I
dream.
can turn 50 now.
Yes, now I can turn 50
Yeah.
because I must say I was dreading turning 50.
Why?
I don't know. I felt like it's old. Do you understand? But like I was saying to Jackie, I feel like it's acceptance, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be 50, but I don't feel it, and I feel fab. I feel fabulous at 50.
I can relate to what Louise was saying about this build-up and this anticipation. So what was happening in my life this year is that lots of people were saying, what are you doing for your 50th? And quite frankly, every time I heard that question, I got really anxious. Because I just thought, actually, I don't really know what I want to do. And historically, I used to love having parties. And so, and because my birthday is in October and it falls around near Halloween, and I used to host these parties called Dead Celebs, so that it's kind of like, so you have to come dressed as a dead celebrity.
Michael Jackson.
Exactly, Michael Jackson, Whitney,
I'd come as Michael
Freddie
Jackson.
Mercury.
I don't know.
Just out of it.
Yeah,
Let
that was
me
interesting.
Let me think about that
I
one.
think you said I'll come as Whitney. So
Whitney,
I'll be fighting for that role.
And every year I'd
Whitney
have a
was my
prize.
favourite.
I'd have a prize
musician,
for the person that had
wow.
he felt was the best costume.
Yeah.
And so I haven't really felt like celebrating, but as the time was getting closer and closer, there was more and more pressure, because I have different sets of friends, I'm sure we all do, from different walks of life. So you have your uni friends and your people that live in your street, or, mum's friends from school, whatever. And everyone was like, what are we doing for your birthday? What are we doing? And then I said, look, guys, I really don't know. Just if you want to organise something, just let me know and I'll be there. But I'm really not in the mood. And actually, something just happened organically that just meant that I had lots of little celebrations, even down to today, where I've turned up and you had a lovely cake for me. Thank you so much. But I've had so far, I have to tell you, this has been the best birthday of my life.
Really?
Oh my gosh!
Oh, wow.
It has been so good. Because every time something happens, I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
Because I think when you have one big party, I don't think you really
You're not
savor.
really present.
No,
Yeah.
you're not present.
There's something so electric about the chapter of turning 50. It's not about a number, it's about a shift. The kind you feel deep in your bones, not just your birthday plans. Louise reminded me that some transitions don't announce themselves with confetti. They come through sweat, discipline, and sometimes grief. We trained for the London Marathon like our lives depended on it, and maybe in some ways they did. We're running through heartbreak, running through rain, running towards some version of ourselves we hadn't even met yet. And then there's Enk, calm, flowing, grounded. Her voice carries that quiet knowing that comes with doing the scary thing, opening a business, for example, starting something new, marking time with intention, not fear. She birthed Welling Spoon. Mirella, ever the party queen, shifted into pockets of presence. She didn't need the loud room anymore. She found herself drawn to something quieter, more reflective, a soft revolution of sorts. What they each reminded me is that becoming unshakable isn't always loud. Sometimes it looks like opening a cafe. Sometimes it's lacing up your shoes in the rain. And sometimes it's just finally not caring about the things that used to break you. 50 in their stories isn't an end. It's a liberation, a soulful kind of freedom to live on your own terms. And to me, that's as unshakable as it gets. Today, the guest, Yvonne.
Hello.
Wifey. I call her Wifey, by the way. So good to see
Yeah,
you.
same here, darling.
So I made Wifey a coffee and I'm going to shoot. So the question to Wifey is, what does it mean to be unshakable? What does unshakable mean to you? Or what is an unshakable woman?
It's so dynamic, isn't it? The word unshakable.
Yeah.
You know, for me personally, I think it has to do with being true to yourself. You know, so it's more than just being resolute and stuck in your way. I think it means like, you know, developing into your highest self. You know, knowing your worth. It's about self-love and all that kind of thing. And I think it's very important that, you know, for me, being unshakable, to me personally, means being gracious to myself. Waking up in the morning and just forgiving myself, you know, being gracious to myself, being loving to myself, and also loving myself so much that I recognize scarcity in love. When people are not giving you that love energy, you recognize it because you love yourself, and being self-confident as well. So it's, as I said, it's a very dynamic word. It means different things to different people.
I think for a woman, life is about evolving every day. So today's woman is dynamic. She is she's free, right? Yeah, she's free. She's not she's not held down by societal standards. So
Yeah, I think that as well. I think it's boring to just follow what society expects of you. I think it takes a lot for you to actually recognize who you are, what you're about, you know. And it's a gift to the world when you show them what you're about. You're actually helping somebody else as well. Things like, I mean, I like quirky things, you know. I don't like conventional
Me
things.
too.
Oh my God, just boring old stuff, you know. I like, even in my fashion, in my only 2 fashion sense I have, I like weird things that stand out. So I think being unshakable means
about that, I need to
Yeah.
interrupt you 1 second about the quirky little things. Yvonne, there was a time when Yvonne and I went everywhere in a bindi. By the way, Yvonne introduced me to the bindi,
Yes.
and I loved it. I fell in love with it. So I think for about 2 years, everywhere I went, I wore a bindi. Random, I know. Don't ask. I can't explain it. Nobody sent me any questions asking me to expand more on it because I cannot. So yeah, that was thanks to Yvonne. Yeah, anyway, sorry. So with
Sorry.
Yvonne, the word unshakable took on a more spiritual, graceful form. For her, it wasn't about toughness. It was about tenderness, especially towards herself. She described it as dynamic, alive, a word that grows as you grow. It's knowing your worth without needing a megaphone. It's recognizing when love is scarce because you've done the work to love yourself in abundance. She reminded me that being unshakable isn't about being rigid. It's about evolving, being open to the way our interests shift, the way our identities deepen. Even something as small as once loving bindis or always choosing books over films is part of your signature, your song. And as we talked, what came up for me was that today's unshakable woman is free, not just from pain, but from the weight of society's expectations. She's not boxed in by age, labels, or timelines. She knows who she is, and more importantly, who she's becoming. Yvonne said it best. It takes a lot to recognize who you are and what you bring to the world. And that recognition, that's liberation, that's self-love, that's the essence of being unshakable. I was sitting down in my bed the other night and I sent Roland a message saying, guess who's going to feature on my podcast? I was afraid he was going to say no, but fortunately he said yes. Unshakable, the brand, is unisex, but I think because of my womanness, I kind of have women gravitating towards me more than men. So I don't. It's not intentional. It's just.
If you say so.
It is just the way it is. But when I was thinking about who are the unshakable men that I know, it had to be Roland. You came to my mind almost so naturally, and I was like, Roland has never bought anything from my shop. So we're here to correct that.
I've always wanted to buy them.
There you go.
I got my own unshakable kit.
Yeah, there you go. Look at you.
Look at me.
You
I'm all
look
branded
like
up.
that. You
Look
are.
at me now. Let me take the hat off.
Yeah,
so
they won't be
can
able to
my
see
face.
you. Yes. Oh, we didn't finish answering the question. What has been the key to maintaining our friendship despite life changes?
I think it's remembering.
Remembering.
Memory. Because, as you go through life and challenges hit you, you have to keep looking back sometimes. And you have to look back and see the journey and all the steps you've taken. But if you don't look back, you don't know how far you've come. And every time I look back, I see you. Because you look at the career, yes, I may be a managing director of a company in the UK. You think, oh my God, how did I get there? You look back and you think,
No,
you agree.
Yeah. Sally.
Who got me to finish that? Sally. So my Lord Riggy was you. I think we parted ways in our careers because you went and did your bar while I went to do an MBA. I went into business. So for me, it starts with you. So every time I think about you, it's not like you get some random calls from me.
Of course.
It could be like 6-7 months. Hey, Sal. But the one thing we always try to remember is birthdays.
Yes.
It's always a message.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Sal. Friendships is connected to spirit.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go through life and we connect with our authentic selves. We have to. I mean, your whole life is about connecting with your strength, your resilience. I mean, I could tell you stuff. Write a book about you.
Aww.
I think if the spirits connect, friendships are easy.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
So we're tribe.
And it's hard.
tribe.
Yeah, we're the same tribe. And it's hard to forget.
Our spirits speak the same language.
That's what you're gonna end. It builds on itself, even though we don't talk every day or catch up every day.
At the time when we came, especially being so young, I was saying to Roland earlier on, before we started recording, that somebody got offended I don't know if they were offended or I don't know what it was. They sent me a message saying that they actually really don't like the way I refer to myself as a king. I don't know the story. They don't know the story. I said, I think because being a queen is too easy. Yeah. It's easy, it's common, it's normal.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything normal about me, I
mean, I was saying to you that, the stereotype, when a mom brings up children by herself, the result is always the same. But I think you broke that stereotype. So when you say king, I get.
Yes! Have you ever felt regrets about any decisions we made together, whether work or education related? I'll leave this one to you.
Well, yes.
Oh! Pray tell.
So, the thing you said earlier, I'm teaching you bad things. I do regret that.
Oh, please! Okay, well.
What we did before. So.
Okay. And it's in the past. Please don't call the police after this, yeah?
15, 20 years ago. So Sally needed to register.
It was more than 20 years ago. It's not 15,
30.
20 years ago, actually.
How old is it?
This was maybe around 2001. Yeah.
23 years ago. She needed to register for her
course.
course.
I didn't.
She came to me and she went, I can't register. I have no
In
money.
tears, literally.
In tears.
And this was the deadline day for registration.
Yes.
After which there would have been no
more. She
registration.
had to wait another 2 years.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not just saying I regret it. I was thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
So I said,
I don't think you regret it. I think you're just saying that for the camera.
well,
yeah. Carrie is listening to this, by the way, my son.
I said to Carrie, to Sally, have you got your checkbook? She said yes. Oh, so I had to check for the fees. What do you mean? I said, well,
Carrie might not even know what a checkbook is
if
right now.
If you check in the application, you get your place. And then later when they cash it and there's no one, they can then call you and go, hey, here's my thing going through. And then you can go, okay.
And then you got to sort it out. Yeah,
she didn't believe me, but that's exactly what happened.
That's what I did. So nobody asked any question. They said, have you got the money? And I said, yes. Here's my check. And they took it. And I registered. So who knows? If that didn't happen.
Where would you be today? Sliding doors, and to the left or to the right? When I think about Unshakable Men, I think about Roland. Not because he shouts the loudest, but because he's been a steady presence in the quietest, hardest moments of my life. Our friendship is rooted in the memory. In the early days of being migrants in the UK, we were so young, navigating a system that didn't see us, figuring out adulthood, education, survival. And through all that, he reminded me that when spirits connect, friendship is easy. He also reminded me that sometimes being unshakable means making decisions others might not understand. Like the time I needed to register for my final year of university, but didn't have the money. Roland told me to write a check and then cancel it. It was cheeky, yes, but it bought me time. It bought me possibility. It bought me hope. That kind of friendship is sacred. The kind that doesn't ask questions when you're at the edge. The kind that gives you just enough belief to keep going. And maybe that's what Unshakable really is sometimes. Making hard choices with integrity, standing by each other in the shadows, looking back, taking stock and saying, we made it through together. I love this role play, guys. So anyway, let's go with it, right? Mm-hmm. Hi, Shay.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Sally Chiwuzie.
You tell me, what's Unshakable? Why the term Unshakable?
Unshakable is a state of mind.
Right.
So Unshakable encapsulates everything about a unique individual's journey. So it's personal, actually. Anybody can be unshakable if they choose to use the word. I suppose it means different things to different people. So for me, I think it's about self-love. I'm a huge love enthusiast. So everything I do is centered around, love and seeing the good in things. It's about resilience and strength, because I think for a lot of that it's my story, it's my background, it's my journey. It's about uniqueness, and it's about embracing your quirks. So This is how I've found you, actually. I had a look at your page, your pages, your music, your vibe.
Thank you.
Totally unshakable.
Right.
So I thought I would ask you about that.
I had the basis to make my music.
What's your favorite instrument?
It's the drums, of course, the conga drums.
Yeah.
Yes, the conga drums.
Yeah, and you're going to give us a huge section on that, right?
Yes, we will go to that. We'll come to that.
Okay.
Yes. And we'll come to it now. For me, the drums are the ability to speak in an ancestral sound. For instance, like these cowbells, you get the cowbells, but we wanted to. So you asked about that angel. At the time, Nosa was that angel. He would carry me down the stairs when everybody had abandoned me, when everybody couldn't be bothered. Some people would come, say hello, and go away for months.
The physical one you talked about, the physical angel.
Exactly. And he was there. So anytime it was time for going to gym, he would carry me down the stairs and roll me to the gym. And all those sleeping nerves started to reconnect. Because when you're doing an exercise and you're doing like 300 reps, it's got to have to answer.
Yeah, you're waking them up.
You're going to have to, and that was what I was doing. So went heavy weights, 10 kg on each, but I would do like 300 reps. Do you know what I
over
mean?
and over
Over and over and
again.
over again. That, even to like, I started to do squats now, and then supersetting. Do you know what?
Squat? You mean squats? You just told me that you were in a wheelchair. So what?
Yeah, okay, I could stand now. So I'll roll the wheelchair to where the thing is, and I'm able to stand now.
Because you've built your upper body.
Yeah, because I built my upper. It's in the back. The secret was in the back.
You know, the core of everything.
Yes, the secret was in the back, and so I could now stand and start doing squats, and then even superset the squats. So I'll do squats and deadlift and come back again, and then so once when he got me back home, and he was supposed to carry me upstairs, I went up by myself.
Wow.
In fact, I'm sure I could have gone up before, but I didn't have the confidence. But this time, it seems like I dreamt about it.
Endorphins as well.
Do you know what I mean?
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Wild and high on all sorts of.
Yes.
Okay.
Natural
Fantastic.
high. Anyway, then, and that's how it started, my dear. That's how, one step, and then, I started using a Zimmer frame. I started using a Zimmer frame, and that, because I just wanted to walk again. I just, then different things like happen. Like you can remember the first time actually standing up to urinate.
The things we take for granted.
Now I could stand up to urinate like a man. Do you know what I mean?
You've been through it, huh?
Anyway, let's get back onto form. So what your next question?
That was a moment for you.
Yes. It was like, gosh, my God. So this is very inspirational. And I didn't understand at the time, but I was in a mission, my gosh. And
you were fighting.
My gosh.
You were fighting.
And in that time, significant people come into your life. At that time, challenges. My gosh, but you got to find those opportunities amongst that.
The barriers.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
You were asking what the title of the podcast is. That's what it is. Opportunities and barriers.
Okay.
Clearly.
Yeah. Nice. I've got to talk about these two individuals. One was a woman and one was a man. Now, you could see me in a wheelchair, but you want to, that's the time you devise schemes and mechanisms to get my money. It's that time that you
choose to try and scam you.
Appear very sexy and beautiful and desirable, but we know there's only one intent that you have is to take my money. Can you think how it is like fancying the opposite sex? And I fancy this woman. Do you know what I mean? I fancied her. And, anytime we got, close and we were doing anything, it would get to a time and she'll take the camera, my phone, and say, transfer.
Yes.
Do you know what that means? And so we now start to discuss the amount of money I'm going to transfer before anything can proceed.
Oh my goodness. So stop it.
But you must be aware. You must be aware of what opportunities that a barrier or a demon, can bring. This is a track now. I'll just play it for a little while.
Yeah. We're talking about. Yeah. What's it called?
It's called 7 Kisses of Love.
7 Kisses of Love.
Yeah, 7 Kisses of Love. So the woman came to my flat once. The first time that there was any whatever.
Is this the bad woman or the?
The bad woman.
The baddie.
The baddie. Let's call it.
No, call her the baddie.
Yeah. Okay. So let's call her. Yeah. So she came once, and we were just talking. Of course, we could talk, and we started to kiss. And gosh, it was like, those kind of kisses where the thrust and the it's just like, wow, you don't know if you're closing your eyes or you're opening your eyes. Do you know what I mean?
Is happening.
Yes, a lot is happening in this.
But a lot was happening to you at that
Exactly.
time. Do you know how much power and emotion there is in a kiss?
Wow.
If it's at the right moment.
Wow.
Do you know?
And then after the kiss, you know, you expect something else to proceed because it was just one of those kisses.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked at me. She looked at me. I can remember her face. She looked at me and laughed in my face. Packed her bags or whatever. I just walked out.
So I could just hear
I could just hear the doors slam.
So you were basking in some kind of emotional.
I don't go.
But wasn't that just sex starvation, really? Because, like, you're talking about, you know,
whatever you want to call it, my dear.
So you wrote this, but did you sing it?
My lips wet at the mere sight of you. This is your Nubian brown. Soft, succulent from the very depths of Africa. And I completely adore you. I adore you, lady of my color, woman of my heart. Now, what I've just demonstrated now, so you see how that song took us? I could not have written that song normally. Now, after that kiss and she walked out, it just happened that my laptop was charged there. I can remember the laptop, and I reached for the laptop.
You wrote it.
And I wrote the song. So I got an opportunity from a barrier, from a problem, from an issue. She served a purpose. And in life...
It was an opportunity.
It was an opportunity, but I didn't know before. So when she walked out, I could have either sung, but I just reached for my laptop and let me just write about what has just gone on. I could not have coined those words without... No, if that didn't happen. To that, I couldn't. You know, and for me, it was an acknowledgement that I can write songs.
Shei's story is one of those that stays with you because it strips away all the surface level ideas of strength and reveals what it really means to be unshakable. When life knocked him down, literally, he didn't just rebuild his body, he rebuilt his will. One workout at a time, one endorphin high at a time, one small, intimate triumph like standing to urinate without help. That moment may seem simple to some, but for Shei, it was a reclamation, a declaration. I'm still here. I'm still me. He longed to shower, not just to clean his body, but to wash off the helplessness, to feel water on his skin and remember joy. That shower to him was the promised land. And getting there meant navigating demons and angels, sometimes in form of people, sometimes in the form of choices. Even in betrayal, he found inspiration. Even in being used, he found music. Because sometimes being unshakable isn't about resisting the pain, it's about transmuting it, turning the betrayal into a beat, the shame into sound, the wound into a weapon of beauty. Shei taught me that barriers aren't always the end. Sometimes they're portals to healing, to purpose, to the next version of you. The journey through the anatomy of being unshakable has been moving and honestly a little emotional. Listening back to these conversations, these sacred moments, I realized just how much living has happened in between the recording and the remembering. Creating these snippets has been such a joy, and choosing only a few, nearly impossible. So much so that I just might do another one of these, another chapter of your chosen few. Because these voices, these truths, they matter. If I've learned anything over the last few months, it's this. I'm softer than I thought, but stronger than I imagined. I've learned to sit with change, to honor my grief, my growth, and the grace in between. So what's my annual Stocktake saying this year? It's saying that I'm not who I was, and I'm proud of who I'm becoming. It's saying that being unshakable isn't about being untouched by life. It's about being remade by it and choosing to rise anyway. So here's to the becoming, to the breaking and the building, to the quiet victories, and to the next version of you and me.